Stroke is the fifth leading cause of death in this country, 1 in 5 for men, 1 in 6 for women.
And even with those high odds, it's the last thing many people think will ever happen to them, just like the person you're about to meet in tonight's Bay Area Proud. Our Garvin Thomas introduces us to a man looking to turn something bad into something that's helpful for others.
Chris Wilder is not a household name in the South Bay, but at the highest levels of business, government, and public service, they know who he is. For decades, he raised millions of dollars to improve health care in the South Bay. And though it's now his health he has to focus on, it doesn't mean he isn't still thinking of ways to help others.
Good.
Any story about a heroic journey requires one key element. A hero, obviously. But this story, it turns out, has 2 of them. Yes, there is Chris Wilder working tirelessly to come back from a devastating stroke. But that wouldn't even be a possibility were it not for his wife, Kate. It was Kate, one night in March last year, who recognized that Chris was having that stroke.
Chris had just got up to get something to drink and had walked across the living room to sit down next to me on the couch. And he looked at me, and the right side of his face slumped. And I thought, oh my God, he's having a stroke.
Kate called 911 less than a minute later. A move that very well saved her husband's life. Even still, quite a bit of damage had been done. A portion of Chris's brain had to be removed. And Kate says doctors warned her he would likely not just lose the ability to walk, but to even communicate. Which was something you should know that Chris Wilder was a bit of a master of.
You know, we've got one of the greatest community of health providers.
As executive director of the Valley Medical Center Foundation for close to 20 years, Chris talked the movers and shakers of Silicon Valley into donating tens of millions of dollars to help hospital patients. And Chris communicated through music, too, even forming a band with his coworkers who played for free whenever a charity needed them.
Tap a card.
But all that is gone, at least for now.
Woke up in the hospital on some day, and I just knew that something bad had happened to me, and I didn't know what it was, but once I became aware of what it was, I realized, oh, well, I guess I'm not playing golf for a while. I guess I'm not playing music for a while.
But Chris hasn't given up on those things. 16 months later, he still works tirelessly at his rehabilitation and is still seeing progress. And Chris hasn't given up on helping others either. When he was able to play with just one hand, he performed to cheer up fellow stroke patients. And Chris just joined the board of the Stroke Awareness Foundation, dedicated to saving the lives and improving the outcomes of stroke victims just like him.
The first thing I want people to know is that you really need to know the signs of a stroke.
So let's help Chris do that right now. We have some of the signs of a stroke: a sudden loss of balance, face that's drooping on one side, is vision blurry, or is one arm or leg weak, and finally, is the speech slurred or strange? If any of those things are the case, time to call 911 immediately. I've posted more information on what to look out for on my Facebook page. That's Garvin Thomas, NBC Bay Area. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Garvin. And there is a critical window when you have a stroke that you have to get help immediately. There is a window in which they can help reverse some of the signs of that. So it is really, really important that you don't say it's nothing, which is what most people do, and then you get past that important window.
Yeah, really
Good reminders from Garvin. Okay, let's talk about